hostelries and restaurants around the LNER Stadium here this afternoon before coming in for the game. So a terrific atmosphere, as it usually is here, and it's York who are going to get us off and underway in a first ball into Saints territory, all the way back for Alex Walmsley to pick up back in the side this afternoon and make his first run at that York defence and gain a good few metres as well.
Yeah, that's your first sign, you know, that Saints are on this. You've got to take those balls on the full. Alex Walmsley's first carry of the afternoon made a hell of a lot more difficult because no one committed to that catch.
It'll be really interesting to see how things turn out this afternoon for the Saints side as Fifita goes down under the tackle. And they get it away out to the right flank. So much talk going on in the background of St Helens as to who might be taking over as the next head coach. That's something I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later on. They've got the ball here more or less on their own 40-metre line before they'll be forced to kick this one away. And Wellesby it is who gets a high ball, and the first chance here for Jacassi to get his hands on the ball on loan from Newcastle by way of Castleford as well.
Well, makes his debut for York 1 calendar year to the day since he's made his debut for the Castleford Tigers. Keep an eye on him. He's got some serious wheels, that kid.
We shall see whether he gets ball in hand and gets into some threatening positions for the York Knights. Midway inside their own territory at the moment. As Inman gets this one back into the middle for Martin to have a run. Rolling it back again for Inman once more. And then over the halfway line now for York, as this comes to the 5th tackle. And then Cody Hunter, as you say, John, absolutely sensational since arriving here at York. He's been at the centre of absolutely everything for the York Knights. Answered something about an SOS call. As referee blows the whistle there.
Yeah, again, Saints not committing to the catch. And there's going to be a quick tap taken here. We saw what Jay Field did last night. Jackson Hastings not quite as effective, but York cannot afford to turn their back, penalised for a man offside at the point of the kick.
As I say, still plenty of speed on this St Helens side this afternoon. Plenty of willing runners. It's rolled away. Burns getting it into the middle for Jacob Host to have a first proper run at the York defence. Wellesby leading it off for Walmsley again. And Garner was trying to get the tackle in, but fended off away. Jackson Hastings once more. Wellesby coming into the line, little chip forward, everybody chasing after it in a black and yellow shirt. There might be a good tap down here, and it could be a try this for Jake Davis. St Helens think they scored. York took their eye off the ball, they let it roll, and the referee does indeed point to the spot. And Jake Davis for St Helens has caught them napping.
Well, it was far too casual, wasn't it, from the York Knights back three. Maybe some confusion about who was going to take control. In the end, it was Jake Davis who's put a hand on it. Look, it'll be checked in the background, of course. It did look a little messy in that corner. And it's the end of a good sequence of play. The man on the right-hand side of his screen, Jack Wellesby, talking to Jake Davis now, put the kick in. Noticed very, very early on that Jack Wellesby's had some very, very early touches, 3 or 4 early touches. Good sign for Saints. That's the kick. And it's just a slow turn. And Toa Mata'afa has just not committed. I think he was trying to shepherd the ball away. Maybe the bouncers caught him out. And between Mata'afa and Jacassi, they really need to do better. Safety first is always the option. When you take a gamble, you run the risk of having your pocket picked. And it looks very much like that's what's happened. Jake Davis will get this try confirmed.
Try has indeed been confirmed, and if memory serves correctly, York conceded a try in exactly the same circumstances against Huddersfield last week, which ended up being a narrow defeat for the York Knights on that occasion. Jackson Hastings then with an attempt very early on to add to his 56 goals that he scored already this season. And I very much doubt he would have expected to be having a kick at goal this early on in the game, but Saints catching York cold. Strikes it nicely, and the flags go up. And that's the first Successful kick for Jackson Hastings, and they lead by 6 points to 0 with the game barely underway.
Yeah, 1-for-1 from the boot of Jackson Hastings, but it's the other boot. It's this left boot from Jack Welsby that's already causing problems for the York Knights. Just scramble to try and get that away. Miss-hit the swipe clear, and Jake Davis pounced for the opening try. I'll labour the point. Jack Welsby selected at half-back. He's been first receiver and second receiver in the 2 sets in possession that they've had so far. And that's always a good sign. Welsby with his hands on the ball often and early if you're a Saints supporter.
Yeah, the more he is involved in the match, the more likely St Helens are to end up on the victorious side. As host moves this one forward for the visitors. Shorrocks comes away quickly as Welsby fending off defenders here. 2 would-be tacklers just palming them away. And as he brings it up towards the halfway line, here's the try scorer. Davis just over the halfway line. Thrown into the middle from Burns, and a kick forward. This is a little bit of a tester. The referee has blown the whistle, though. Penalty's been given.
Alex Walmsley.
Yeah, so Walmsley here getting in the way. There you go. A little bit of a shoulder. Going in on Matty Foster.
They denied him any kind of pressure on the kicker, didn't it? Which is why York have got the ball in good position as well.
Referee spotted it very, very well there.
Now, the one thing I have enjoyed watching York in this area of the field, I think they're a very well-drilled side. Mark Applegarth has left his players in no doubt what to expect. That's a great run as well from Xavier Barr.
Oh, rolling it back. Inman into Hingano. Looking for some support. He's just 10 metres short of the line now. As the York players line up, hands on their haunches, ready to go. Jack Martin into Xavier Barr once more. Another tackle goes. Inman waiting just behind him. Inman gets it out. Lovely flick into the middle for Ollie Fields. Inman again, quick glance behind him, grubber kick through into the corner, Saints going for it and defending it away, and it's Welsby that gets back for the covering push.
Yeah, it was very, very close, wasn't it, for John Bennison? It was a nice little kick, really well weighted, not the biggest of in goals here at the LNER Stadium, but that's a lovely little kick, and it needed Welsby at full stretch to deny the attempt from Bennison. So some good early pressure. They'll be hopeful of a repeat set here.
Bennison, of course, playing against his former side. 71 appearances for St Helens. He was a grand final winner as well in 2022. But very much enjoying life at York these days. It's Inman again. Feeds it through. It comes to VAR. 3 in the tackle to eventually bring him down. Inman finding McShane. Rolling it in for Galliano. He's leading try scorer for York in the absence of Norfoluma. Here's McShane again, out wide this time. Hunter looking to go himself. Hunter revving this one up then. As Ingano turning, twisting, running away to the left flank, trying to get another kick in, but it was played out, says the referee there.
Yeah, not as effective this time round. The kick trapped and tidied up by Saints, who now get to work out and put a little bit of distance between themselves and their try line. It was Shorrocks who got a boot to it and tidied that up nicely.
Murphy then, who's now tied in on that 3-year contract for St Helens, despite some criticism that he received from a particular ex-player last week. And, now then, how close is that?
Very close. Very close to being a 40-20.
Well, the referee's lines person on this near side was Johnny on the spot there.
Well, the touch just stood directly on the red line, so that's given the referee no option but to go and get this checked. That's very close. He was definitely inside the 40. I think he may have got this, you know.
Would have done, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The video referee saying that it looks as though the ball flew right over the top of the line.
That's referee's call, and if that happens, it's referee's call. And the referee has adjudged that that is not a foul. The initial on-field call wasn't 40-20. If it goes directly over the line, the red line.
And the Saints will count themselves unlucky there, because that could have really put some pressure on this York line. But at the moment, they still have possession. Referee's blown again. This time it looks like the Saints players maybe are offside. So penalty given to.
Well, York have been,
some of the pressure from York, perhaps.
They've been given some legs up here. St Helens, an inconsistent start. They've looked good in possession, not so good defending at the moment. They've given up plenty of territory here for York early on.
It's often usually the other way round. York have a tendency to start very quickly.
He's had a good season, you know, Xavier Varr.
Yes. But they were caught cold on that occasion. And Davis scored the try inside the 3rd minute. Martin getting lots of attention from Shorrocks as Ngannou comes away with this one. And closing in again on the Saints line. 6 again's been given by the referee as well. So tackles in the back here as Xavier Varr puts some pressure on. Inman waiting, flings it off once again. Martin will get tackled eventually, very, very close to the line.
Looked for a second like he was going to snake that arm out, just denied.
Inman once more then, McShane with the quick hands down to the left side. Marta offering, going for Benison! And John Benison up against his former side shows them what they've been missing as York get themselves back in the game.
Well, just a really nice reactive piece of rugby. It was Ata Ngannou with the pass, I feel. John Benison with the try, and the defence just melted away in front of him. So there is the response from York. It all came from the 6 again infringement. It was just a little bit too much, wasn't it? Just going back in on the player from Jack Wellsby. They go left, they get themselves into position. Cody Hunter next to Mata Afa, who provides the pass for John Benison. That's really smart. Mata Afa, the door's just opened up in front of him. That's a great finish in the corner as well from John Benison. So York, after a slow start, a sluggish start, have responded.
Benison was his 5th try of the Super League season. And he also has the chance to add this one on as well. Mark Applegarth with plenty to think about. It's been an interesting season for the York head coach. Very much up and down. And this one still hasn't quite been given. Well, it's now been confirmed eventually. So, not entirely sure what was going on in the background there. But Benison is awarded the try. And now the chance to add 2 more. Taking all the time in the world as well. Eventually running the clock down all the way from right over the corner. Oh! Hitting the woodwork as well. So not quite the icing on the cake for John Benison, but what about this for a try?
Yeah, this is smart, really smart stuff. Early ball from Hunter to Mata Afa, and he provides the pass in turn, and it's just that right edge for Saints. Just got that all wrong. There's a Saints player who shot the line there and came up with fresh air, and Mata Afa provided the try-scoring pass to his wingman John Benison. As you said, 5th of the season, he's not had many starts, just his 10th this afternoon. But he gets an early 4-pointer. I came in this afternoon, Fraser, thinking that this, you know, you've 2 sides. York went on a little bit of a run, 3 victories against Cass, Huddersfield and Hull FC. Wheels came off then against Toulouse and Huddersfield. Meanwhile, Saints all over the place, notably that crushing defeat to Toulouse. So, you know, the form lines were really hard to lose, they're hard to read. I was thinking we could be in for anything. I think we're in for a tight game here.
Yeah, in terms of the form between the two of them since they last met back in round 10 on May the 1st, it's been 4 wins and 6 defeats for St Helens since then. They've never not made it into the playoffs. But of course, the way things are looking at the moment, John, it's anyone's guess as to whether they might make it there this year.
Well, they're in danger. They're putting themselves. They have put themselves in a really difficult position, and it's another good set after points for the York Knights. Hunter with a bomb that is taken on the field by Lewis Murphy, who gets hammered in the tackle.
Hey, after a shaky start, York have really woken up and got themselves into this game. As I mentioned at the start of the programme, when it comes to good old Yorkshire grit, York have got tons of it. There's Walmsley.
Oh, it's a good grass-cutting tackle by Inman.
And he took a bit of a whack there, by the looks of things, Walmsley. Gingerly getting back to his feet before Shorrocks takes it away. This is his 300th Super League appearance, Alex Walmsley. Again, going strong still at the age of 36.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
getting on in the age down.
He was really well dealt with. That's how to take down Alex Walmsley. Just really low, round the legs before he gets going. Really, really well done.
Remember when I was a kid, that was what you were taught. If you want to stop a man from running, grab hold of his legs. Doesn't matter how big he is.
Or if Barry McDermott, you ask Barry McDermott, his head. you can't run without either. Oh, and Alex Walmsley's just obliged.
There we go.
He's just tried to take.
There we go. It's almost as if he was listening to us. Well, you might say that was a forwards tackle, but that might be a bit unfair to a few.
No, it's just, look, it's just an arm out. I mean, he'd been done for footwork. He'd, yeah, late retreat and then done for footwork. So York again find themselves in a really enviable position.
15 minutes almost gone in this game. It's still very much in the balance. York, though, working their way into decent positions. As Martin gets tackled midway inside Saints territory. Ingano rolls it off down the right-hand side. They go for Foster. Just over 10 metres away from the line. Knocking on the door again, the York Knights. Ingano gets it away. Hunter, quick hands again. Lovely ball. And that will be a superb, easy finish in the end from Ollie Fields. Waltzing through the Saints defence. The door opens and he said, thank you very much.
Oh, well, I don't know what's happening with that defence. The ball played from Cody Hunter was exceptional. Just slowed the tempo of the game down. We'll speak about the best halves. John Wilkin was talking about Jake Connor last night, saying one of the best tempo players in Super League. Well, Cody Hunter has shown you something there. This was the penalty that put them in position, conceded by Alex Walmsley. But take a look at the pass here. The work by the halfback. That's brilliant from Hunter. And then all Holyfield has to do is step the fullback and score underneath the sticks. And I would imagine Eamon O'Carroll will be scribbling heavily in that notebook because it's Jake Burns, the St Helens hooker, who's really ducked in on Cody Hunter. He's such a good ball player. When pundits and coaches talk about tempo, that's what they mean. It's that ability to change the pace and affect what a defensive line does, just playing that three-quarter pace, slowing things down. He had a great out, great foil in Ollie Field, didn't he? And that's a walk-in for the back rower.
Well, having been right out on the flank for the first kick at goal, John Bennison has a much easier opportunity here to add a couple, but it's still being checked in back play by the video referee at the moment. That is confirmed now, and 4 becomes 6. And now York Knights increase their lead, and it all came, as you say, from a brilliant bit of work from Cody Hunter.
Yeah, he just fixed up Harry Robertson, didn't he? Harry Robertson left in a really vulnerable position because Jake Burns had disappeared. He'd gone to try and solve the Cody Hunter problem, who came up with try assist number 13. So after a slow start and an early score by Saints, 2 tries in 7 minutes have put York in the driving seat here.
Yeah, I remember being here. I think it was, you were here as well with me when it was Warrington. And that was Cody Hunter's first appearance when he came in on loan from Newcastle. 14 consecutive appearances he's had since then. Absolutely running the show.
There goes
for the York Knights.
Xavier Vata again. He's such a big impact, you know. The opening 15 minutes of this game, you know, pushing through Alex Walmsley and carrying another couple of players with him. They go again here.
And they got his men over on that far side. Slippery like a bar of soap there, Nico Williams. And that's really turned up the volume again from the home fans as Hunter finds Hingano. He takes the tackle. The home fans weren't too keen on that one from Fifita. But here is Hunter, launching a high one, going for the corner. Everybody looking at it. And he's come up with a ball well there. As Lewis Murphy.
Well, he shied away from his first 2 assignments. Well, he had to get involved there because Jacassi was just hovering. I think he took the ball really well, Lewis Murphy. And now the York Knights, well, it's just an indiscretion at the ruck and gives St Helens a bit of a breather. And again, quick tap taken by Jackson Hastings.
Liam Rush having a word with Jack Martin there about that infringement, saying that he's told him once about that already. So York perhaps walking a bit of a disciplinary tightrope as a big tackle goes.
Someone told Xavier Vata, you're only going to have to play 20 minutes because he has been everywhere.
Shane Wright for St Helens. It's only now that they've managed to get inside York territory. Hastings then.
Oh, what a tackle.
Quick hands again, and a cruncher of a tackle goes in there. Absolute cruncher.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's Jacassi who's followed in Galliano. Galliano went in. Jacassi had to follow. And the rule is, if you go in, you connect. And boy, he did that.
He really felt that.
They're playing some good stuff, both sides of the ball, York. They really are. This was seen by many as a bit of a motley crew of players, a ragtag bunch assembled from all quarters of the rugby league world. You know, players not necessarily with names you would have heard of, no household names. Well, I think they've done exceptionally well in their first season.
I got to say, you got to hand it to all 3 of the teams that are new to Super League this season. I think all 3 of them have been a real breath of fresh air. Here's Fifita for Saints then, pushing his way through inside the 20 for the visitors. It's the first time they've been up this end of the field for a while. Tackle goes in on Humphreys. And so Wellesby rolls it back again. White again. Burns feeds it out for Shorrocks. Hastings now looking for support from Wellesby, and he's managed to find some in the shape of Davis.
Oh, it's well handled again by Galliano, because Davis is such a big, strong athlete.
Burns goes to his right-hand side this time. Hastings goes for the kick. Everybody goes flying up for it. The ball comes loose again. They might pick this up with Wright. They have done. Shane Wright has gone down with the ball in hand. Referee having a close look at it, and he's given it. But York, for the second time, with those little kicks through at 6s and 7s in defence, and they suffer as a result.
Well, Jacassi came in with a cracker of a tackle. He touched the ball in the process, gave Saints another set when they made no mistake, given a second invitation. Hastings' kick was a real tempting one. It wasn't taken cleanly. It's just been dropped on the head of the York Knights, couldn't hold it. Shane Wright picks up, tidies up, and it's you score, we score. It's just a really nice, well-weighted kick. It's Hunter who goes up, can't take clean possession. Shane Wright onto the scraps, and he crosses for a try, his 4th of the season. And it's 10 apiece, kick to come. This will be converted by Jackson Hastings. And you get the feeling we might see quite a lot of this. Leads changing hands, momentum swings. Neither side playing championship level stuff. It makes for a really entertaining contest for the neutral.
It's not going to be one of those days where defences are on top, I don't think. But you can't fault Saints for making sure that if any little sniff of an opportunity comes, they're ready for it. Twice they've done that now, and twice they have scored as a result. Still being checked in back play, but it has now been confirmed. And now Jackson Hastings gets the chance to edge Saints back in front. Which he does.
And just significantly as well, you know, both sides 100% completion, 10 for 10 for York, 9 from 9 for St Helens. And it's a kick, an acute kick at that unpicks the defence. It was an error from Hunter, couldn't take the catch cleanly, and Shane Wright is the man who benefits. He puts Saints back in front. And I say again, I have a feeling that this lead may change hands a number of times before this game is out and we understand who's going to come out on top.
Having said that, with what, just over 23 minutes played, York have had 59% possession, as opposed to St Helens 41. So it really is a game that's on a knife edge here. Fifita bringing it forward. York have attacked very well in recent weeks. They've scored 20 plus points in each of their last 6 games. So they certainly know where the try line is.
Well, during the break, as Hastings popped over the conversion, Xavier Vata, who's had an outstanding first stint, has been replaced by Paul Vaughan. He's in on the tackle now, along with Thompson. Double change by York.
It's not a bad change, to be fair, is it? Jack Martin preferred as a starting prop this afternoon for Jordan Thompson. York then on their own 10-metre line at the moment. Oh, and a drop ball there by Giacchesi. And that's a howler.
Yeah, he just snatched at it, didn't he? Was winding up, snatched at the ball. Oh, and he's put his side under some pressure there.
What a place to drop it. So St Helens gifted another opportunity. Can they turn it into points?
Well, they've centre field and they've gone a 4-2 split here. So this is either give Saylor a bit of room or come out and play the numbers. That's what Hastings is doing.
Hastings going for it, trying to feed it through over on the overlap for Davis. Wellesby gets it back in now. Hastings once more. Here's Wright, scorer of the previous try just a few minutes ago. Burns again, longer pass this time. Saluka Fifita. Oh, forward centre referee.
Do you know what? It didn't need to be either. And Jack Wellesby, he's got his head in his hands. He's not going to be able to question a forward pass. It's the referee's call.
Scrum.
It didn't need to be a forward pass either. Saluka Fifita has overrun that. The gap was there for him. The shape, there's an awful lot of Saints players had swung around that long side, that open side. So I think that's more a timing issue. Saluka Fifita has just gone too early. And they've left points out. They've left points out on the field there. He had to check his run, tried to check his run. Didn't do enough, did he?
Let off for the home side then. Having seen the ball dropped there by Giacchesi, he's trying to atone for that error now. Getting his side a few metres. He's blown the whistle again.
They're just daft penalties. They're real coach killers, those, because look, despite the opportunity missed, you've got him in a great position, and there's no need to lay on as long as you have. He's trying to control the speed. The ruck is Keeley. Billy Keeley makes his debut today, by the way. He'll be hoping his next involvement will be a more positive one.
There's some lovely pictures of Billy being handed his first shirt by his parents earlier this week, when he was told that he was going to be part of this Saints side, number 37.
You know, it's one of the great stories in Super League, isn't it? You know, the headline is just how many injuries we've had across the league this season. It's such as the pace being of the sport that we play. But it's been real opportunities been given to the likes of Billy Keeley in this instance.
Involved in the tackle there to try and bring Vaughan down, but York are on the attack again with flowing, quick movement here again. Matt Arthur is brought down. 2 in the tackle there. Singano gets it away for Hunter. McShane getting it away to Galliano, running at defenders. He's lost possession. Has it gone backwards? Referee says play on. Jakesi comes away with it. 2 involved in the tackle, and they didn't like that one, the home fans. It went in on Jakesi, but McShane gets it away for Vaughan to run at the defence again.
The set-up left here, Fraser. Shot coming left.
They've got many a man over there on that left side. Now it comes away to the left flank for Hunter. Hunter and a second attempt over the top, too high for Benison. And the chance goes begging.
Do you know what they've spotted? They've spotted Tristan Saylor, who is looking very, very uncomfortable in that right centre position. He shot the line again to try and put pressure on Hunter. They'll keep going back there, York. I think they feel they've got a bit of action either inside or outside Tristan Saylor. He's not played an awful lot of first-grade rugby in that position. He played there last week, didn't he, in the derby. But they've tried that area of the field a number of times now, York.
Well, Tristan Saylor's stats this season are incredible. When you look at how important he is to the Saints side. Coming into this game, 365 carries, ranked 4th. 2,741 metres, ranked 4th. 48 runs from dummy half, ranked 8th. 33 offloads, ranked 2nd.
Yeah, look, you know, and regardless of that, you try and find a Saints fan who's happy with his signing. I've been amazed with that. I think he's been a great player. I think he's been used in too many positions that are alien to him. I think centre's another one.
Well, maybe that's because he makes too many errors. 29 coming into this match, ranked 3rd.
Well, you're always going to get that. As a fullback or a half, you touch the ball more than anybody else. I think you can discount that. I just think he's too good to leave out the side, but they want to try and put this man into the right position, Wellesby at fullback, so they've got to try and accommodate him somewhere.
Cody Hunter's going to get penalised here if he's not careful. He'll get it away, though. Saylor it was, back in towards Robertson once more. Little chip forward from him, going for the corner. Matt Arthur's done well. Has he kept the ball over the line? He has just.
Yeah, he was put under a fair bit of pressure, wasn't he, by Jacob Douglas? And look at where they've got to work the way out from now.
And look at how Saints coming in straight in their faces to try and keep them at bay as Benison eventually gets tackled, wriggling away from his markers. Referee says to go back a metre or two, though, as Benison was trying to steal a little bit extra. Jakesi again. He's finding it tough going in these early stages in the game. We come up to the half-hour mark. St Helens still leading by 12 points to 10, but it's a very, very even game. Hunter with the kick, going for the corner. Taken well by Murphy. Immediately pouched. Davis comes away with it. Tackles flying in. Deneve Barmforth involved, having come off the bench. Wellesby gets it away into the middle for Douglas. Saylor waiting just behind him, pushed away. This is good work. Robertson found himself a bit of space, needs some support, finds Wellesby, and that's a great tackle. Wellesby will get a second attempt now. The tackle wasn't complete, the try was, and Jack Wellesby, wriggling away at the second attempt, gets the try for Saints.
Well, it's a sparkling piece of play from St Helens. It's Harry Robertson who's set Jack Wellesby loose. And the pace shown by Robertson down that right-hand edge was something special. Saylor started this sequence, gets across his man, puts Robertson on the outside, and then Robertson showed a real clean pair of heels, committed the fullback, and Wellesby's in support. It was nearly a fantastic try-saving tackle from Deneve Barmforth. But that is a special piece of play, and that's what Saints can do. We've seen it only in glimpses this season, but it just goes to show you just the attacking quality, the attacking weapons they've still got in their arsenal. Boy, that was a good try.
Barmforth will be kicking himself. It looked like he'd done all the hard work, really, but just couldn't complete the tackle. As you say, it really would have been a fantastic try-saver, but when you've got a player like Jack Welsby, if you don't complete the tackle, he will wriggle away and he will punish you.
We've just been talking about Tristan Saylor, haven't we? You know, he was the guy who started all that. Just that fleetness of foot, just ducked across two defenders, set Harry Robertson away down the right-hand side, and then Welsby just following up on the inside. Brilliant fullback play.
Hastings then to make it an 8-point lead for the Saints. And he's missed that one. So only 1 from 3 so far for Jackson Hastings. That's now 20 goals that he's missed this season.
Yeah, and that was the sequence of play. That was brilliant, wasn't it, from Tristan Saylor, and the pace down the outside from Robertson, and the support work very, very nearly cut short by Denise Barnford. There's a word on him in a second, but Jack Welsby, the try scorer, up and about today. He looks engaged, looks involved, plenty of touches of the ball. And yeah, just a word on Denise Barnford. You know, again, I think I'm amazed he's not at Hull. He was sent out on loan, I think, for the full season, maybe no callback option, and now a mistake from a really unlikely source. You know, Alex Walmsley must have carried 50,000 of those carries. Loses possession significantly. No challenge goes in. There's always hands around there. But he will know, the big man will know, he never really had that under control once the contact had come in. York get another sighter.
Doesn't matter how experienced you are, everybody is still prone to the odd mistake. And as you say, real pressure now on his own line for York to try and take advantage. Barnford here then, waiting behind Nico Williams as Hunter feeds it through to Vaughan. Vaughan will steal some extra metres. He's looking for the offload, but it's not coming. Not quite coming. Barnford again, looking to his left, but going for his right instead. Zingano. Tackled just a few metres short. They pushed it over to the right-hand side, and Barnford now goes for the longer edge. Here's Jordan Thompson. Thompson brought down just short. Going for it himself, though, Denise Barnford! Denise Barnford, having missed a tackle which resulted in a try just minutes ago, goes over the other end and rolls one in himself.
Oh, such an impressive young back player. I thought he had some really good moments in a Hull jersey last season. He's been used off the bench, he's made an immediate impact. I thought his attempt on Jack Welsby was admirable. Well, I'll tell you what, that was such good eyes-up rugby. You have to, and interesting to see what had happened at the ruck there. Marker's not reading that correctly. It all started, didn't it, from the carry. Now, the question is, could they have challenged this? Was there something other? Well, Galliano had a hand in there. I'm thinking that ball carrier's responsibility, and Welsby leaves his post. Well, fullbacks, if I've got my player correct, yeah, I think Welsby, fullbacks on goal line very often take up a false position. They look very much like they're the first defender off the ruck, and then as the play the ball comes in, they disappear to go and cover out the back, and they leave, in this occasion, left a fairly decent-sized hole, a Denise Barnford-sized hole, and he duly obliged.
Yeah. Mark Applegarth, I don't know how it is that he's managed to mould this side together, but he's done a great job in terms of the spirit that they've got here at York Knights. They never know when they're beaten, and they do not give up. Bandison with an easy one then. Strikes it well. And once again, we are closed up.
Yeah, just really smart stuff from Denise Barnford. Yeah, it was Jack Welsby. He was sitting there, taking up the position of that first defender, and then at the point of the play, the ball disappeared. And look, you know, good dummy halves will realise that that sort of gamesmanship, presenting a line that isn't really there, and he took full advantage. Really smart play from the young hooker.
Amazing how the game can mirror itself. Sometimes Barnforth missing the tackle, which resulted in a Wellesby try moments later.
Well, I'll tell you what, he wasn't looking confident for the take, was he, Jacassi? But that was a nice little soccer trap, that, wasn't it?
Vaughan rolling it back for Barnforth again. They've really got the bit between their teeth now, York. Saylor and Robertson involved in the tackle. And as York come attacking again, this time with Fields.
And they've done a really good job there as well, York. They've gone kind of round the corner. They've ended up pulling a lot of big middlemen into awkward positions.
This is the last one. Onto with the kick. Big high one. Murphy, though, positioned himself well. It's a good chase from the York Knights too. Didn't get many metres before he was pounced upon.
Surrender. Stand down.
Wellesby rolling it back. Another good tackle goes in this time from Hingano. Two of the big lads at the front there, though. And Vaughan and Thompson getting the tackle on right. Here's Wormsley. Over the halfway line again as they get to the last tackle. Hastings with the kick.
There's a lot of players. There's a lot of players, Fraser, isn't there, that make really good meters after contact in this York side.
Oh, Taumata Arthur, I mentioned made 187 metres against Hull recently and 152 against Huddersfield. All the balls come loose here. Saints will get it back here. Oh, it's a big challenge goes in there from Galliano. Referee's called that as a ball steal. So Saints get it back again, and the home fans not happy with that decision.
Yeah, it was Barnforth, wasn't it, who just had a hand in. So they've got just over a minute here of York, and if you're a Saints fan, just over a minute to either keep out or score a try.
They will be desperate for the latter. Big opportunity for Helens to go ahead. Half-time break. Davis. 20 metres from the line. St Helens ramping it up here. Wellesby. Hastings. Long pass for Robertson. Robertson being pushed out towards the far side. Ball's gone backwards. It's lost here. It's a knock-on from Robertson. And that will probably mean that we'll go into the sheds at 16 apiece.
Robertson just couldn't quite get that away cleanly, could he? Just looked round. He saw the big shape of Ollie Fields blocking the offload. This build-up play was nice, though, wasn't it? Really accurate stuff. Ollie Field does a good job there, just getting in the way. And he ends up pulling out the attempted offload.
Well, there goes the hooter, and it has been a very entertaining first 40 minutes. 6 tries have been scored, and it's a very even game, John. And we talked about the fact that we weren't quite sure what to expect, but
What we're happy about is they went 10 from 10 completion rate in the opening quarter of the game. The next 20 minutes, they went 4 from 9. There was a real drop-off there. Just a concentration thing from York's perspective. They want to get back to that real high completion rate, which you've got to do against a side with the quality that still is in the ranks of St Helens.
they were really caught cold early in that first half. York Knights, but they're going to be receiving the ball themselves right at the start of this second half. And it is Andrew Jacassi who takes the first ball for the York Knights, and Paul Vaughan now, who came off the bench in the second half, first half, who will be running this forward now for York Knights, who find themselves in 11th going into this game. They could move up to 10th, but they've dropped the ball here with Paul McShane, with Jordan Thompson rather, and the Saints players celebrate because they've been given a real chance here early doors.
Yeah, it's just a high ball carry from Jordan Thompson. And as he's come down, he's just collected Alex Walmsley's leg. That's dislodged it. So that will go down as another incomplete set, an error in possession, error number 6 for York. You know, it's not what you want to do. You start in halves, the first 10-15 minutes of the half, get through your sets, make your tackles, kick long, try and force the other side to blink. Well, unfortunately, it is York who blinked first here.
Saints then in possession and given a chance early doors, as they were in the first half. Davis trying to wriggle his way free from the tackle. Burns gets it into Shorrocks in the middle. Shorrocks taking the tackle. Burns again. Finding Wright. Try scorer in the first half for St Helens. Burns once more. Wellesby gets it away for Hastings. Robertson on the right-hand side. Again for Davis to eventually take the tackle. Murphy waits behind him. It's a high looping ball, and Jackson Hastings had to really stretch at that one. Walmsley gets another couple of metres. This is the last one. They go for the left flank once more. Out it goes and towards Davis, who is tackled just a couple of metres short, and that's the first real test for York cast in this first second half. Just
muscled to the ground in the nick of time by Galliano. He's a problem, isn't he, Jake Davis? Such a big, strong, rangy athlete. And look where York have now got to do their work in possession. Tough carries.
Davis has played 17 out of the 24 games for St Helens. 10 of those have been as a substitute. He actually scored in the game against York.
There's an issue for Davis as well in back play. He's, I think, struggled to at the end of that sequence. Still in back play, not in the defensive line.
Keep an eye on him. There's Vaughan moving into the shadows. Last one again for York.
That was the injury. Just got his head in the wrong place, didn't he?
Murphy running at the York defence.
Dumped unceremoniously by Galliano, and just again too long, just a little bit too long from York. Well, it's not been a great start to the second half by the home side. It was good contact, wasn't it? And it was a dominant tackle. And again, it was just the supporting work from Ollie Field. Just didn't allow any room to get off for Galliano. Penalty conceded, good kick downfield as well.
Wellesby then into Wright. And again, they're hanging on a little bit too long in some of these tackles. Be careful not to get penalised once more as Saylor, jinking run from him, does well, keeps it in play and finds Robertson. Robertson getting away from his defender, still going, Harry Robertson. This is brilliant work. If he can get to the line, he's brought down just short. But Robertson showed them exactly what he was going to do with the ball there, and they bought the dummy. They've got 6 more as well here, St Helens. Wellesby comes away with it for Walmsley. Walmsley trying to scythe his way through the middle, pushing and pushing towards the line. Burns waiting just behind him. Saints can sense danger here. They can sense a try. Hastings gets it through the middle. Closer and closer to the line. Burns was looking for it himself. Wellesby goes away to his left. Oh no, pass out the back, and it's fallen into the hands of Benison, who will come away with it. Wriggles away from one try. Would-be tackler, rather.
Well, so a reprieve, wasn't it? Just Wellesby just loses possession towards the end of it. There was a majestic piece of work, wasn't it, by Harry Robertson down the other side, though. Just reminding everybody why he's considered a superstar of our game.
York trying to regain some field position here. And Hingano rolls it back. Barmforth into Thompson. This is the last one. Expect Cody Hunter to get this one into the corner. He's gone for the high ball, and the Sun's really shining in the eyes of Lewis Murphy there.
Well, it's well taken again. Look, there's not making no secret of who the target area. They've, you know, I think the frailties have been laid bare, haven't they, in recent weeks? Oh, penalty incoming here. That looked like an awkward challenge.
Yeah, Chikesi on Davis.
Yeah, I've got high contact to Ghana.
It's Davis
Ghana who's gone in.
Yeah, and it'd be very interesting to see where this contact is.
Oof.
I think there may be some more here.
Yeah, I've got you, mate. I've got you.
The video referee may be having a word here with Liam Rush, because I think there was a fair bit in that shot.
Well, it looks a bit shouldery, didn't it? And there may have been a bit of contact with the head. So, video referee having a look at this one in back play. Let's have another look here. Ngannou drops down.
It's not pretty. That is not pretty. He had plenty of opportunity to pick his target. He's almost driven up into the head. I think there's no doubt whatsoever there is contact with the head. This will be a decision in what colour card.
I think you're right.
This could be a massive moment in this game, Fraser. Ata Ngannou will be a nervous man.
Yeah.
Decision incoming.
Yeah. Ata Ngannou going in on Jake Davis.
Yeah.
So, referee
Toa.
calling over Ata Ngannou. Let's hear what he has to say. Liam Rush.
No, it's been reviewed by the video ref. He's had a good few looks at it. It's direct contact with the head. The mitigation is that it doesn't meet the threshold for high-level force. So it's 10 minutes in the bin.
Well, it's a yellow as opposed to a red.
Well, I think he can count himself very lucky. I'd be interested to know what Liam Rush's definition is of excessive force.
I have to admit, when I saw it for the first time in the replay, I thought that looks like a shoulder direct into the face.
Yeah, it's the degree of force, isn't it? And the threshold deemed not to have been met. I'll tell you what, you try being on the receiving end of one of them. He's a lucky boy, is Ata Ngannou. He may not feel it at the moment because he cannot contribute to his team for the next 10 minutes. But he's lucky he's not sat down for the remainder of this game.
It's rolling around at the back here. Helens living dangerously at the moment as York Knights really try and stop them getting any further possession. But this is Harry Robertson again. A superb run from him. Still going, Harry Robertson. Still going, Harry Robertson. They can't bring him down. They get it away. Keeley out wide to the left flank for Davis, who's going to go all the way.
Oh, what a tackle. What a tackle.
Jordan Thompson, I think it was, who got in there. A genuine try-saver.
Top draw. World-class stop by Jordan Thompson. He needs to take a bow. That is sensational stuff. This was marvellous. Harry Robertson, the dancing feet, the pace, the footwork, the balance, and then a beautiful offload. And Davis, he feels for all money like he's going to go for the corner. That's a classy, classy try-saving tackle. And that's kept the York Knights in the game. Jordan Thompson, the old stager, commits and pulls off, I reckon, what could be a match-defining moment. They are down to 12 men for the next 8.5 minutes.
10 seconds.
What a sensational stop. What a brilliant run from Harry Robertson. A couple of meandering runs that he's been on already. But, boy, that was some tackle.
That was incredible from Jordan Thompson. It looked for all the world there that Davis was going to go into the corner and score. With York under the cosh, with a player in the bin. Ata Ngannou off the field as Matt Arthur. And Barnforth rolls it away into the middle.
Well, they can't stop playing York. They're a man down. And the temptation sometimes is to play really conservative rugby and just see the clock out there.
They do not know the meaning of shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. They can't afford, doesn't look like they're going to, but they cannot afford to do anyway. Paul Vaughan eventually brought down.
Oh, my words. I would not want to run into him. Here is the man of the moment, Jordan Thompson. What a tackle that was. Barnforth gets it away for Hunter to get the kick high, and there's a big challenge goes in back play. And they're not happy about this, the York fans, and I think the referee has spotted it.
Yeah,
He's in the air, he makes a conscious choice.
Pressure applied to
He's well
Cody
after the ball's
Hunter
gone.
and Liam Rushing, no doubt. So it's the penalty is given where the ball lands. As pressure comes from the inside, but it's late from Shane Wright. He had an opportunity to pull out of the tackle there. Alex Walmsley's remonstrating. He's saying, look, he wrapped his arms, he tried to make a tackle. That's not what the penalty's for. The penalty's because the ball's gone.
That was long gone.
We've got a captain's challenge.
No.
Saints are challenging the ruling of a late tackle on the kicker.
Well, I can't believe this. St Helens are challenging that decision of the late challenge on the kicker, which was Cody Hunter.
Well, I think
Cameron Worsley's got a job to do here to have a look at this one.
Well, look, the only thing that he needs to be looking at is whether the contact is late or not, right? And the ball's gone. It's clearly gone. Shane Wright does not need to go through with that tackle. Look, and I'll say this, we are talking about fractions of seconds here. It is very difficult for a player when you are, in your head, you are committed to a tackle. This will be a penalty, or should be a penalty, nothing else. But it will be a challenge unsuccessful at 100%.
But no real surprise, but you'll hear the roar from the home fans when this goes up. And there it is. And I have to admit, I was surprised that Saints took that decision.
You wonder whether somebody... It was Jackson Hastings is the captain, but Alex Walmsley was the man who seemed intent that was going to be sent up as a challenge. Anyway, Burn, gone. And York Knights, albeit with a man down, are in great field position.
So, can they take this opportunity now, even though they've got a player less, and it's Jordan Thompson running at defenders?
And I would imagine they'll be trying to open this field up to have a shot at this edge, this right edge for Saints.
Here's Vaughan with a cannonball run from the old campaigner as Barnforth waits behind him. Offload into the hands of Thompson again. Barnforth waiting once more, goes to his right-hand side. They're going for the corner here with Matt D'Arfa. He's brought down, a couple of metres short. He's going for it himself, though. Scott Galliano, very, very close. He's been held up just a metre or so short. He tried to get the ball away there, and Murphy comes away with a loose ball. Saints turn defence into attack very, very quickly. But it was Gikessi's attempted kick there, which backfired against him. And Saints, having been under a bit of pressure there, come away with a loose ball.
Yeah, and you've got this attacking contingent on the left edge for York. Their arms are all up in the air. There was nowhere for that kick to go, was there? And all of a sudden they find themselves defending close towards the halfway line. Short side picked again by Saints. Here goes Robertson.
Robertson causing nightmares in the York defence every time he gets hold of the ball. Welsby to Shorrocks and back again with Welsby. Welsby once more, waiting for some support in the form of Alex Walmsley, who's brought down 10 metres short of the line. And that is the turnover.
Yeah, I think once Welsby had committed that he was going to take the line on, Walmsley was his only outlet. And that was a good desperation tackle to bring him down and bring that set to an end.
Benison then. York Knights, you wouldn't think they were the players. They were a team that's playing with a man down as a high tackle goes in here. Galliano.
Right, he's just
penalised.
Well, there's a frustration. Another 10 metres given away for descent. And there's a man who should know better, does know better. It is a high shot. I don't know what he's complaining about. No, it's a penalty. It's a penalty every day of the week, twice on Sundays.
As I said, it doesn't look like York are the side playing with a player in the bin.
Well, that's frustration as well. That's creeping into Saints' game and some of the senior players as well. Here's a man who's impressed me this evening, Scott Galliano. He's done really well both sides of the ball.
Vaughan. 5 minutes remaining on that sin binning, by the way. But they're still playing like they've got a full 13.
Another shot.
Here's Barnforth. Barmouth finding McShane. Vaughan. Going for the line. Still going, Paul Vaughan. Oh, he's got it down. crashing, bashing his way through the Saints defensive line, and the side that will have a player in the bin and the side that go in front.
That is sensational stuff from Paul Vaughan. He's just kicked the front doors in. It was a great sniping run from Deneve Barnforth. Deneve Barnforth, the play before was a really sharp run, and the defence never recovered. Paul Vaughan then goes route one. This is the play before. That's the beautiful sniping run by Barnforth. Gets a quick play to ball. Paul Vaughan's running at a static defence, and it's just simple physics, isn't it? Big man over the top of smaller man, and there's only going to be one outcome, particularly when the frame, you have the frame, and Paul Vaughan, he has to do a fair bit of work, and that's really well taken. A really well taken try. Straight through the front door. York take the lead again. 53 minutes on the clock, and this has been an utterly absorbing game.
Well, we see it, don't we? Week in, week out. Super League delivers again and again. Now, can Benison deliver another 2 points for the York Knights? 4 the difference at the moment. This to try and turn it into 6, with York still a player light. Benison then strikes it well, up go the flags, and York increase their lead.
It's been such a positive response to the sin binning. In terms of what requires most energy in a game of rugby league, by a factor of 2, defending is harder than attacking. It sucks that much energy out of you. So if you can keep hold of the ball, and what better way to score a try, run another minute off the clock with a conversion, and then receive possession again to deal with. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's gone out the full. It's all going pear-shaped for Saints.
Well, that is a gift. Wrapped and delivered from the boot of Tristan Saylor. He's just overcooked the restart.
Wow.
And they're putting themselves under pressure. St Helens.
No wonder there are some glum-looking faces among the Saints coaching team, because that is unforgivable. And it's another gift for York, if nothing else. It chips further time off that sin binning clock for Atahingano. But at the moment, they have got their tails up here, the York Knights. Here's Barnforth, lovely run from him. They're clutching at straws here, St Helens. Under all sorts of pressure. Matt Arthur. 3 in the tackle to bring him down. Barnforth again, buzzing around at Tommy Half. He's all over the place, covering every blade of grass. Here he is again, waiting for the ball to come through. Hunter has a look, goes for the chip ball. Up go the hands. It's loose again. Oh, he scored once more. Nico Williams this time, pouncing on the loose ball. And perhaps York should always play with 12 men.
Right, it's a great finish from York. The kick came in from Cody Hunter. There was a question mark when Holyfield went to challenge the ball, but I feel he was bumped in the air, dislodged the ball backwards, and Nico Williams picks up the scraps. So their nose are further in front, and they have been such good value for it. This is where it all started. Overcooked from the kickoff. And the York Knights, well, they needed no second invitation. It looked for a second like this set was going to fizzle out. And then Cody Hunter just drops one. He has a really committed challenge from field. And Douglas can't make the ball his. And Nico Williams, who's following up, gets an absolute gift. Just pops up in front of him. He crosses, 10-point margin, kick to come. And York are in dreamland. I tell you, this Saints confidence, you know, it's so fragile. They have had a really mixed run. They have been through the mill. Coach has gone, players injured, results not going their way, sat outside the playoffs, and now the upstarts on Yorkshire Day are giving it to them.
John Benison then. has the chance to add another 2, but this is once again being forensically checked in the background before it gets given. Meantime, it's been confirmed. It's been confirmed, and Atahingano is now back on the field. The sin binning has run out. They've spent 10 minutes with a player light, and they've scored 2 tries. It's been sensational stuff in the second half from the York Knights, and now it gets even better. They lead by 28 points to 16.
You're right, they go down to 12 men. Atahingano sits down for a really dubious challenge. And the York Knights roll the sleeves up and put 12 points on St Helens. And they deserve every one of them. It just couldn't be cleaned up by Douglas. And Nick Williams pounces. His 6th of the season. That's a decent margin. Do you know what? I don't think it'd be enough. But if you're a York fan, I don't think York are going to shut up shop now either. I think they're really enjoying themselves.
And there's another one.
Oh, salute.
He's penalised, hanging on in the challenge again, too long.
And he's annoyed with himself as well for Fita, because he knew from the moment that he had that second effort, the outcome was going to be, well, it's just hands on the back.
Needless.
So York again, and we talked about the energy conservation strategy when you're down to 12 men. Well, I mean, they've enjoyed, I would suggest, 70% of possession over the last 10 minutes, and it continues.
They cannot afford to take their foot off the gas, though, because we know Saints still have some world-class players in there.
Our stats tell us at the moment that St Helens have made 80 more tackles than York have had to do, and that just tells you the story, and that is energy sapping.
And they've now missed, Saints, 33 tackles as opposed to York's 14. Here's Thompson. Rolls back again for Hunter. They're going again here. Hunter, another kick over the top. Wellesby this time, though, had placed himself very, very well.
Yeah, it's a good set, though. Look at where Saints are having to work out from. Douglas with the first carry.
Virtually on their own line. Oh, what a game this is turning out to be. The troubles that St Helens are having just keep getting worse and worse. Here's Murphy.
That's a good carry.
Taking a bit of pressure off. Saylor gets it away. Post over the halfway line.
Yeah, last 2 carries have rescued that set.
Yeah, last one looked like it was a bit lackadaisical. So Wellesby gets it away, putting a bit of pressure, and Jacassi this time comes away with it cleanly.
He's done so well there, you know, because that ball was a real wobbler, and he was looking into the sun as well.
Yeah. 67 metres so far for Jacassi with ball in hand on debut. Oh, and this time, Nick Williams was complaining that might have been a little bit high.
Oh, Back's getting in here and having a full set out there. Boot from Paul McShane, that's smart as well.
Big pressure on Jacob Douglas as he turns it round and flings it out to Wellesby. Martin and Galliano go chasing after him. Murphy takes the tackle on the far side. Hastings waits just behind him. They make no real distance there, but they've given away another one here.
Yeah, Denise Barnforth just too keen, and Jackson Hastings has gone straight from the tap as well. Jayfield started a trend here.
Well, all the players watch all the other games. Here's Fifita. Robertson now. Back out for Wellesby. Wellesby trying to find a gap. It almost came open for him there. Tom Humphreys waiting behind him. Wellesby, did he take a bit of a knock there? Robertson gets it away into the middle for Host again. Host getting closer and closer for the Saints. Fifita once more. trying to atone for his earlier error. This is the last one. They need to do something special here, Saints. Hastings going for the corner, trying to roll it round, and that will be the ball turned over in possession.
Really well managed. Paul McShane right in the thick of things again. But they've got another crack here at St Helens, you know, because York caught offside. Right, important 60 seconds incoming here for both sides.
This is massive. This is absolutely massive. Closer and closer to the line. Alfie Sinclair. Back again from Humphreys. Robertson now. Robertson stretching out the legs, trying to find Saylor going for the corner. Can they keep him out? York just about managing to keep him at bay. Desperate defending at the back for the York Knights. Here's Host trying to smash his way through. Tackles come away. Saylor comes away with it. Humphreys now. They keep it going here, St Helens, with Fifita. He's brought down eventually. Panic stations at the back now for York. Wide it goes once more. Hastings, Welsby goes for the corner. Everybody chasing it, and Jacassi was the right man in the right place to push it away. Yeah,
first couple of yards, Jacassi had everybody covered, just made it safe. But Saints have just turned the heat up in the last minute or two, haven't they? Keeping the ball alive. Jack Welsby to the fore from hand and from boot, and they're causing York some problems now all of a sudden. Well, York will run this clock down. They need the oxygen. Just turn the dial up ever so slightly, St Helens. And it's York's responsibility to go with them. They are in the driving seat, the home side, but here comes Saints.
To them with the kick out. We saw a game a couple of weeks ago, John, you and I, Castleford versus Leeds, and that one swung and swung and swung. And this is that kind of game as well.
Oh, shot.
Big shot goes in. Humphreys comes away with it, though. Saints knocking on the door. They've found some confidence from somewhere. Can they find some points? Host. 3 in the tackle to try and bring it down. Got to be careful not to hang on again too long. They have. Referee's given another 6. And York put themselves under further pressure. Humphreys waiting for it. Goes to his left. Shorrocks dancing for the line. Big tackle goes in on Shorrocks. Back again. Humphreys once more. Hastings quickly back inside. Oh, and the ball's come loose. The ball has come loose and York will come away with it.
I'll tell you what, it's a great shot. It was Xavier Barr again. I mean, in the 2 spells, he has made such a difference for the York Knights. I mean, what about that for a connection? Boom, whack, ball comes out and just gives his team 20 seconds to get the heart rate back under control, because York were redlining and they looked very, very vulnerable. Just a brilliant defensive intervention by Xavier Barr.
Still just over 15 minutes remaining in this game. York leading by 12 points, but I still don't know which way this is going to go.
No, I don't think 12's enough. I
think you're right.
But look, you know, all the evidence is York are not putting the cue on the rack. They are going, right, we got to keep playing here. That's a determined carry from Jacassi.
After a bit of a shaky start, Jacassi seems to have settled into his role very nicely on the wing. Taking over this afternoon from David Nofaluma, who is carrying on with head injury protocols, so that's why he's missing the game. Ingano, the man who found himself in the sin bin. Hunter gets it away. Another high tester. Welsby's underneath it. Oh, the ball's come loose again here. Saints putting themselves under real pressure. Oh, and then he comes away with it. Robertson, brilliant stuff, finding Saylor. Saylor going all the way up the halfway line. He's got support in the shape of Welsby. Oh, it's unbelievable. Incredible stuff from St Helens. Right on their own try line. Backpedaling, going nowhere. And a bit of genius from Harry Robertson has turned defence into attack. this game is far from over.
One of the tries of the season, scored by Jack Welsby, started at the other end of the field by Harry Robertson. And it looked for a second like Saints had put themselves under all sorts of pressure because it started with an errant pass. Welsby took the kick in consummate fashion, and then he decided, come what may, they were going to play, and they were going to play from here. The first pass nearly undid everybody. Nick Williams nearly pounced, but take a bow, Harry Robertson. How good are you? Down the outside, Saylor in support, and it is one of the tries of the season. Saylor puts on the afterburners. Welsby back supported on the inside, as he has done for the second time. Picks up his brace, and you can watch this 1,000 times and wonder how Saints have managed to score when the start of the play looked like that. Harry Robertson does really well, not just to tidy up, but to transition from scrappy start to a set to sensational length of the field try. Welsby is the last act, and he puts the finishing touches to an absolutely scintillating piece of play.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Jackson Hastings has added the extras. It's a 6-point ball game again, and we've still got nearly 13 minutes left in the game.
One of the tries of the season. When you
sensational.
When you watch the season wrap up at the end of this year, you will see that try. One of the tries of the season. And the Saints guns, when the back's against the wall, have delivered, and now look at them ramping up. That's a carry off the back fence.
Incredible stuff. And St Helens are not done yet. We talked about confidence and how fragile it was. Well, what on earth will that do for them, John?
Well, look, it can come as quickly as it disappears. They will have taken a hell of a lot from that passage of play. I don't think I've seen better this season.
Well, York, over to you. What have you got left? What have you got in response?
Well, here's Robertson again.
He's tortured them. Absolutely tortured them, Harry Robertson. Every time he's had ball in hand. Saylor, chip forward over the top. That'll be gobbled up at the back. York just need to try and settle themselves now after that period of play. Let's have another look at this.
Yeah, this was the pass from Welsby, wasn't it? And I think heart rates spiked, didn't they? But Harry Robertson is the coolest man on the field. And just rounds the York defence, finds Saylor. Oh, wow. Wow. What a try. What a try. There's a match going on in the background. There's nothing happening, so we're showing you that again. What a try that was.
You'll see that one again and again and again, and it gets better every time. Meantime, Saints in possession once more with Lewis Murphy. Hastings waiting just behind him. And Saints now with their tails up and starting to brim with confidence. Here they come again.
And they're getting some joy down this short side as well, this near side. There is a York team that is looking very leggy all of a sudden. Saints, well, they're up and about, tails are up. They're making real inroads into this York defence.
Chris Matangi, who's come on as a second-half substitute. Hastings then finding Host. Host tackled by Cody Hunter. This is the last one. Have they got another try in the tank here? Forward, says the referee. And that will relieve a little bit of the pressure on the York Nice line. So
tough. Look, you know, Jack Welsby acknowledges, because Jack Welsby is the superstar. Jake Humphries is finding his way in the first team. Welsby's called for it. It's so hard not to give the main man the ball, even if he's overrun it slightly. Welsby acknowledges the mistake. He's put his hooker under a bit of pressure there.
How he nails Mr. Applegarth.
Oh,
my word.
Well, that jaw's going to be sore in the morning. The gum's getting an absolute hammering. Graham Steadman, former Castleford star.
Seriously, who would want to be a rugby league coach?
Well, several people. I've seen two of them.
When they put you through the mill like this.
Yeah, it's a masochistic profession, isn't it? But I tell you what, we are being royally treated here on the field. What a game this has been. No, the try we just saw was one of the best you'll see all season. And we've had plenty of other moments that has been just as good, just as impressive.
We've just had a little bit of a delay due to a bit of a communications issue for one of the touch judges. That's now been sorted out, so we can get the game restarted and back underway with Jack Martin. Here's Vaughan, scorer of another fantastic try in this second half. We've been really treated, haven't we, John, to some sensational action from both sides.
Again, he's been so important for his side. Inman out of dummy half, gets the set restart. He's cleaned up by Saluka Fafita, but it is a set restart for York. They can now start to inch their way downfield.
Into the last 10 minutes of the game, and it's still anybody's. Here's Vaughan. Vaughan still going for the line. Paul Vaughan never knows when he's beaten. Inman gets it into Martin. Martin looking to go for himself. Lovely offload again. Holyfield will score for the York Knights. What a game this is turning out to be. No one knows which way it's going to go. No sides giving an inch. Neither of them knowing when they are beaten. What a match.
Yes, sir, Jack Martin. I tell you what, I'm not sure I've seen a better offload this season. We've just seen the try of the season. Holyfield gets the score. It re-establishes, for the most part, the lead that was chipped away at by Welsby's try. But take a look at this offload. That is special. That is special. Jack Martin, second spell, rides two tacklers, and that's an outstanding offload to Holyfield, the York Knights vice-captain, and he crosses for what could be a really crucial try, not just in the outcome of this game, but the general picture of York Knights' season, and more importantly, Fraser, for the rest of the season for St Helens, because they are under all sorts of pressure now.
Trouble for St Helens. They have never not qualified for the playoffs. A proud record which stretches back to 1998. And this could well be a nail in the coffin as far as their playoff hopes are concerned, because the York Knights now have inched themselves further and further in front.
Oh, how good is that? So good. That is so good from Martin. And celebrates like a good at Holyfield, and why not? 8.5 minutes to go, 12 points in arrears.
It's not over yet.
What have you got, St Helens?
It's not over yet. Don't take your eyes off this one for a second. Anything could happen. Short kickoff for a start. Robertson batting it back. Martin can't get hold of it. Host can. Host on the attack then for the Saints. And it's now that time in the game, with 12 points between the two sides, that Saints are just going to have to throw caution to the wind. Fifita rolls it back. Humphreys, Hastings. He's a special player. Has he got something special in the bank? Host looking for the offload. Robertson waiting just behind him. Robertson again then, winding Saints up for Welsby, trying to crash through the middle. The York defence still holds strong. Saluka Fifita can't get through, but they'll get 6 more again here. St Helens, oh, and then Robertson drops the ball forward. Oh, would you believe it? Would you believe it?
Oh, it's been the first misstep in what has been a sublime performance from the 5/8. Just can't take it cleanly. They got the set restart. York Knights were on the ropes, on the rack. And Robertson, well, you'll forgive him one, because I tell you what, the other 73 minutes and 55 seconds has been sublime.
The bell had just gone. They had another 6 tackles in the bank. And in that position, they've given it away, and no wonder Eamon O'Neill and Lee Briers look really quite down and out at the moment. York then, less than 6 minutes remaining. The home side in the driving seat, but they still, as he says, John, can't put the cue on the rack just yet.
Well, this is where you start to become a little more conservative. You're not spending 3 or 4 seconds getting up, but you are certainly thinking about if there's a half chance for an offload. No, get to your kick long, get your kick chase right.
Don't do anything daft. Hunter going for the corner. Murphy is underneath it, takes it well. Saints restarting then, just inside their own 20-metre line. But look at this defending from the York Knights. We've got 5 minutes remaining in the game. John, it's time for you to start thinking about your Betfred player of the match. This fella could be a candidate, even though there's a very good chance at the moment they might be finishing on the losing side.
You're not kidding. What a game. What a game he's had.
Douglas. Here's Walmsley, keeps hold of it this time. Wellesby now, can he find a bit of magic? Turns it back in for Hastings. Hastings fending off Shackles, but eventually brought down by Inman on the halfway line. Walmsley. Wellesby quickly off for Hastings. A high ball, high, and it bounces. They let it bounce. Don't let it bounce! Don't let it bounce! Saints take advantage again. Referee points at the spot. Unbelievable stuff. I told you this game wasn't over.
Oh my goodness, I tell you what. That is some awareness by Harry Robertson. They are not going to hang around here. Jackson Hastings, the minute this gets confirmed, will nudge the kick over. And Harry Robertson will have set us up for an absolutely grandstand finish. The kick was a real steepling bomb from Hastings. And Jacassi didn't want a bar of it. It bounced awkwardly, and it bounced perfectly for Harry Robertson.
Wow, we say it time and time again, don't we? Don't let the ball bounce in those circumstances. Jacassi did, and Saints took full advantage. Try's been confirmed, and now, sure as you like, Jackson Hastings immediately smashes it through the posts. Game on. Well, with 4 minutes to go.
They've got under 4 minutes, and Harry Robertson times his run perfectly from the kick. Jacassi, he pulled out at the last minute, and Harry Robertson dives to cut the arrears to 6 points. There are just under 4 minutes left on the clock. That should be 2 sets in possession for St Helens.
What on earth is going to happen next?
Golden point, anybody?
Well, I was just about to say, I don't want to jinx it, but golden point is a possibility.
Right, if you're York Knights,
it's up the jumper time.
You've got to get through a squeaky clean set of defence, and Saints are going to be throwing absolutely everything at you.
Kitchen sink time.
Oh,
Robertson's away. Harry Robertson in towards the middle. Needs some support. That's a brilliant covering tackle. Absolutely superb from Taumat Arfa. But they're still going here. As Saints have it in the middle with Fifita. The move came breaking down, but they're right up the other end of the field now, Saints.
They've got him on the left.
They've got players overlapping. Hastings gets it out. Wellesby looking for some support. He's gone right up against the line. They've managed to keep it in. McShane's gone in high, though, on Wellesby. And this could cause real trouble for York.
Well, it'll be a penalty only. I don't think it's a professional foul. I'm not sure he thought that Hastings was, that Wellesby had a man on him when he was on the floor. I think that's a penalty only. I'm not sure there's anything more in that. But the break again from Harry Robertson. He's almost single-handedly dragged Saints back into this game. Most important 60 seconds of the season for, well, certainly for St Helens.
Saints then. What have you got? Less than 3 minutes remaining. 6 points between the two sides. This is it. It's all or nothing now for St Helens. Hastings gets it to Welsby. Welsby goes for the long pass. Out to Saylor. Out wide. Oh, they've done it! Jacob Douglas in the corner. They looked like they were dead and buried, St Helens. York were there with the nails hammering them into the coffin. But they have risen from the dead, Saints.
And the South Stand absolutely erupted when Douglas went over in the corner. And do you know what I like about this? There was no overplay in here. Harry Robertson just giving it to Saylor, who was in a better position than he was. He gave it to Douglas, who was in a try-scoring position. They've not tried to overplay. There's no Hail Mary. That's just a really well-executed pass. It stripped the York defence, and it has set us up. 2-point ball game. Tristan Saylor is going to take over kicking duties from the sideline. Jackson Hastings, by the way, in that passage of play, which is why he's not kicking, took a real hammer and he keeps holding the glute, the back of the hamstring. So Saylor, wow.
Tristan Saylor.
What are your nerves like, sir?
Well, we saw it. Exactly the same position a couple of weeks ago, John, didn't we? Castleford versus Leeds. Leeds scored late on. They had a kick to equalise. Jake Connor missed it. Tristan Saylor, how are your nerves? Lining it up. Kicking towards those hundreds of Saints fans who have made their way over. He strikes it. It's gone. Ooh, it's just wide to the right-hand side. York still leads by 2 points with 2 minutes left in the game.
It's just a really smart, well-executed play. Nothing overplayed about that lovely last pass from Tristan Saylor. Just a catch pass, soft hands, didn't make Douglas work. And it's a simple finish in the corner. It's a two-point ball game. The South Stand that is absolutely jammed to the gills with Saints fans absolutely erupted. And now York have to withstand what's going to be
2 minutes of the Alamo.
Yeah, a 2-minute onslaught. What a game. What an evening. We've seen just about everything.
We've had the lot. And now we have 2 minutes to find out how this game is going to finish. Is it Saints coming home with a wet sail? Or will the York Knights be victorious on Yorkshire Day? What a gift!
It's a forward pass, Fraser.
What a gift!
Scrum. York ball.
Inexplicably, play one, they've thrown a forward pass, and it's again...
I can't believe it!
It's Humphries from dummy half. Welsby sat really flat, you know. And it's Humphries from dummy half. And it's forward, and York now have the opportunity to take a famous scalp.
Wow. This game has been incredible. Williams being held up. And he'll take as long as he possibly can to roll this back. A little handoff as Martin goes down in the challenge.
Yeah, there was the pass.
Yeah.
That was the ball pass. That's the reason Saints are not in possession.
McShane to Thompson. Thompson it was who, remember, had that incredible try-saving tackle midway in the second half. Here's Vaughan. 50 seconds left now, less than that. Inman waiting at dummy half. York in possession. Thompson gets it to McShane, and they'll just try and trundle this one closer and closer.
They're going to try.
the line.
They're going to try and put it in a corner and tackle on the catch.
Matahafa, he's tackled. That's it. That's the turnover.
Right, 25 seconds.
What have you got, St Helens?
Well, I would imagine they're going to try and make a beeline for Harry Robertson and Jack Welsby.
Here is Welsby. Welsby with a kick over the top. Everyone chasing after it. Well gathered up by the York Knights. the cheers around the LNER Community Stadium are because Sean Bennison, a former Saint, could well have won this game now, or at least put the result beyond doubt. There it is. The hooter goes. The referee blows the whistle. The game is over, and York Knights have pulled off a sensational victory against a St Helens side who could be not finishing in the playoffs for the first time in their history.
Well, first of all, York Knights, congratulations. That was a performance that was stubborn, that was full of flair, a side that refused to stop playing, and they just had enough gas to see off St Helens. And for the Saints, who provided us with some of the most memorable moments of the season, I am sure.